Hello dear ones, it's Eleonora from the channel The Awakening Path, and I have a question for you. Do you think there is a good selfishness or there is only bad selfishness? What if I tell you there is? Before I tell you, I want to thank you everybody that's supporting the channel by liking, subscribing, commenting, sharing in your social media, sharing with your friends, and of course also who is contributing with the link below. So what means to be selfish? Oh, when I do things for myself, I'm being selfish. If I'm doing things, if I only do things for myself and I never do anything to anybody else, or I mostly do things for myself, or if I do things for myself without care if I'm hurting other people, as long as I get what I want. So there is many definitions for selfishness. I would say that the bad selfishness is when you don't care about hurting others as long as you get what you want. For me, that's a bad selfishness. But how about do things for myself? Okay, I will do this, but that is only benefiting myself. It's not benefiting anybody else. Am I being selfish? Or if somebody asks me to do something that I don't want to do, I don't want it to do at all. All the cells of my body is screaming, say, do not do it. And I decided not to do. Am I being selfish? So what happens if I always say yes to everybody that everybody asks me to do? Does that make me the most selfishness person in the world? No. That will make myself a people pleaser. The problem about being a people pleaser is most of the time you are doing things that you don't want to do. You are doing just because you think you're gonna get an affection and love. You are expecting any reward from the other person that not all the time will come back as the way you want. So, and when you constantly overriding your free will, you always know what you want to do. You always know what you feel good doing. But if you are constantly overriding that to please other people, what is going to happen is that will create resentment. You're going to have resentment against that person that you want to please. And what happened with resentment? I guarantee you that resentment is over here on the red, above, under the 200, that's courage. So let's talk about the opposite. Let's say that I decided that I'm gonna do only what I really, really want to do. Unless it's something that's life or death and I really don't feel like doing, but okay, life or death, I'm gonna save somebody or myself. But I only do what I want to do. And then you ask, but Maria, are you saying that I don't feel like cooking dinner to my kids tonight? So is that okay if I just don't do it? Well, just think of other options. You may buy food, or maybe you cook food just in the morning and then you eat for lunch and dinner. Or I think in that case, you're gonna you better feed your kids. So there is some exceptions, but we can be creative with about that, make more things for ourselves. So what happened if I decided to take more time just for myself? What happened that I'm a very busy mommy, that I'm always taking care of the kids, husband, house, and I never have time for myself. But I decided that I want to take 30 minutes a week, or at least twice or 3 times a week, to have a bubble bath. What if I decided that every day I'm gonna take 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes at night to meditate? That's benefiting only me, apparently. Am I being selfish? What if I decided that thing, that family dinner that everybody is going, that I feel horrible when I'm in there, because there are things that happen there that I don't feel good. But I only go because people expect me to go. But all cells of my body say, you better stay home. What if I decide I don't go? Am I being selfish? There is another story about that, because if you feel bad about going, it's because there is a lesson for you there. But if you are not ready to really take that lesson, I think it would be self-love to stay away from it. But so if I'm doing good things for myself, for me to feel good, and it's not really hurting anybody. By hurting anybody, I'm not telling about upsets, because when you change your way to do things, especially do things for others, they're not gonna like it, because they are used to you always doing things in a certain way. So it would be loving if you just say, oh, from now on, I'll do things this way. So if you're not hurting anybody and then you decided to do more things for yourself, are you being selfish? I don't think so. Actually, the good selfish, there is another name for that. It's called self-love. And when you are practicing self-love, you practice self-love, any type of love, has to do with emotions above, starting in 200, that's courage. So you are practicing courage to really speak up and say, sorry, I'm not going, I don't want to go, I'm not going. Neutrality, willingness, acceptance, reason, love, joy, peace, and all the good stuff that is in the top. When you are practicing those things in yourself, you're gonna get expert on that. And when you love yourself enough, the love will expand from you to others. That's how it works. You cannot give love if you don't have love for yourself. Oh, but that's not true. I know the mother that she's always tired, that she's always taking care of everybody, and she hardly do something. She wash her hair once a week, but she's very loving and patient with her kids and husband and everybody else. But inside, she's screaming. Inside, she's screaming. You can even fake it, but inside, you're screaming. So when you truly love yourself, and then it's easier to apply that to others, because it's easier to be compassionate to others if you already know how to do to yourself. it's easier to understand the reason why other people do things if you already understand and accept why you do certain things. So I do believe that the world would be really a better place if more people start to practice more self-love. I'm not saying just to go by the day and not really pay attention to anybody else's pain. Okay, if somebody comes to you, they want your help, if you feel like helping, that's what you should do. And then you say, but Maria, how about the people that, the mother that sacrifice for their kids? Sacrifice is just a word. There is an act. The mother that goes an extra mile for her kids and feel good about doing that, she's not sacrificing. The feeling behind her action is not sacrifice, because sacrifice make you anger, you have a pain, you are here under the 200, you don't feel good. But the mother that go an extra mile for her kiddos, even for anybody else, and feel good about, and then if that's something that she really wants to do, the feeling, the emotion behind is another one. It's not sacrifice. But when you constantly sacrifice your free will, do things that you don't want to do, it creates resentment. And resentment is a very low vibration, has nothing to do with love. So practice more self-love. It's very, very important. So you have the bad selfishness. That's the one that's really never care about anybody else, or even if what they're doing will hurt somebody else, as long as they get what they want, they don't care. That's the bad selfishness. But take a good care of yourself, make time for yourself, stop doing things for other people that you don't want to do just because you're afraid of what they're gonna think. That's not being loving. That's people pleasing, that sacrifice and creates resentment. And it's not your purpose. Your purpose here is to learn how to love. But you truly need to start with yourself. That's how it works. You cannot give what you don't know how. First, you give love to yourself, and then you are able to apply to others. The love will extend from you. And that's very simple. What happened? How do you feel when you are close to a happy person? You feel the love of that person, feel the happiness of that person. So treat yourself like you want others to treat you. Treat yourself the best way you want other people to treat you. And of course, it's always good to treat everybody with respect and love, but sometimes to say no, that's the most loving way for you to do. For yourself and even to others. I'm not gonna say that people that's receiving your sacrifice, like being two in quotes, that they are constantly doing things that you don't want to do, they're not gonna complain, but you're not helping them either, even though they like it. Because that's not the lesson, but until they are getting something from that, they will be okay with, they're not gonna change. So love yourself the best way you can. That's the lesson for today. If you're not subscribed yet, subscribe to my channel, share, leave some comments, questions, and write on the comments what you do for the love of yourself. What do you do to yourself? Something that you do every day. What do you think you should do to express self-love to yourself? So much love and light to you, and see you in the next video.